Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Ven at Embassy Row. We're so excited to offer yoga on demand for you, our guests. My name is Emma and I'm founder and director of Epic Yoga DC. It's a studio just a couple blocks from here. So welcome to our neighborhood. Let's get started with this Vinyasa style practice. It's just a way for us to get into our bodies, connect to our breath, just do something nice for ourselves. So for today's practice, we're going to start standing. So just finding anything that feels comfortable, feet about hips width distance, right? Soft knees. And if you'd like to, you can bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your abdomen. Otherwise, you can just have your arms long by your side or any other way that you'd like. Take a moment to tune into your breath. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. Otherwise, just pick a gaze and find some stillness. So as you breathe nice and deep, take the breath all the way down to the soles of your feet. And just notice this nice sense of groundedness and remind yourself that you are supported. And as you continue to breathe nice and deep, bring your attention to the crown of your head. As you stand up nice and tall, this sense of activation. Again, just staying with your breath. It's as if you're breathing right from one hand to the other. Nice big full body breaths. You can bring your attention to your heart. Notice a sense of connectedness, expansiveness. Just be here for a few more breaths. It's just a way for you to get a little bit more quiet and calm. Just kind of allow you to make the shift right here onto your mat. If there's an intention that you'd like to call in, just take a moment to kind of set your intention, perhaps seeing it through your mind's eye. And as you breathe nice and deep, bringing the energy of your intention and bringing it right to your heart. We'll take another big inhale through the nose. And open up the mouth, let it out. You can blink the eyes open. We'll now come towards the top of the mat. So if you're not there already, just go ahead and make your way to the top of your mat, finding a standing pose. Now, just for fun, we're gonna try a little bit of this balancing sort of tightrope trick. Now, of course, you can always keep your feet next to each other if you want. Right? Otherwise, step your right foot in front of your left foot. You can bring your elbows right, just to your side body, palms open. Steady eye gaze. Again, just breathing nice and deep. You might notice right, a little wobbling, a little shaking. That's quite all right. Just stay with it. One more inhale. One more exhale. So carefully sweep the arms up and over. Nice big inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, start to fold. Just hinge at the hips, soften your knees, and just carefully bring yourself over your legs. Again, this might feel a little strange since your feet are in front of one another, and that's okay. Just soften your knees. Just settle in. Notice what it's like for you. On your next inhale, just go ahead and lift up towards a flat back position. And inhale, you can even bring your fingertips towards your shin. As you exhale, your left foot's gonna step back. Nice big step. We're finding our low lunge position. So softening into the right knee and right hip. And if you want to, you can even bring your left knee towards the mat. This is our modified crescent lunge. Go ahead and lift up. So you want to make sure that your right knee is over your ankle, kind of hugging back through your right hip crease. And you're grounding down through your left knee. You can have your toes tucked under or not behind you, and feel your left knee really squeeze and drag towards your right heel. That's going to create this real scissoring of your inner thighs. Okay. Bringing your forearms to touch in front of you. On an inhale, you're going to go ahead and just open up the arms, the cactus arms, right? Lift up through the chest. Good. And as you exhale, you bring your forearms back together and scoop the abdomen. So just stay here a few rounds with your breath. Inhale, open up nice and wide. Exhale, squeeze in. So we're creating this sort of cat-cow breath in our upper body. Nice, strong legs, deep lunge here. 2 more. Use your breath. Inhale and exhale. Last one. You can bring your fingertips back to frame your right foot. Tuck your left toes under and just hop off of your left knee. So we'll find our sort of low lunge here. Grounding down into your left fingertips. Inhale, reach your right arm up towards the sky. So we're taking an easy twist here and just continue to hug back through your right hip crease. And imagine you're gonna lift your left ribs towards your inner right thigh. And lift out of your left shoulder, reach through your right fingertips. Inhale and exhale. You can bring your right fingertips back towards the floor. We're gonna step back towards our downward facing dog, a little bit different. So as you pick your right foot up, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and then start to lift your hips up and back. Stay here for a couple breaths, gently pressing your right knee away from you. Try to relax the shoulders as you really firm through the palms, really lifting out of the wrists. 1 more inhale and complete exhale. Just carefully bring the shoulders forward so you can uncross your ankle. You can place your right foot back down, and now you're more in your traditional down dog. If you want to, you can pedal out the knees and feet. Lifting up nice and high onto your tippy toes. Bend your knees deep. Good, and you're just gonna tiptoe all the way up to the top of the mat. And I want you to imagine that you're on that tightrope again. So just continue to walk forward. Your knees can be as bent as much as they need to. And then once you get to the top, you can put your feet next to each other. And again, just fold over the legs. Soften your knees. We'll take our ragdoll position. So you'll want to just go ahead and sort of fold your hands into your elbow creases or clasp opposite elbows and just drape your body over your thighs. Take 3 deep breaths here. I like to sort of offer myself a little sway here, and I let my body rock side to side. You might enjoy shaking out your head. You can release your arms, soften your knees, and roll up to stand vertebra by vertebra. So again, just take your time, scoop up through the abdomen. Bone stacks on top of bone as you slowly bring yourself to the top. Nice, all right, next side. So again, find your tightrope. Left heel comes in front of your right toes. Again, hug your elbows into your waistline, palms open. Again, just embracing any wobbles, any shakes. It's just part of the practice, right? It's just part of life. 2 more breaths. Steady eye gaze and steady breath. Hopefully results in your sort of steady mind and steady body. On your next inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Breathe in, and nice and slow, carefully, fold back over your legs. Pause for a moment, soften the knees, really squeeze up through your inner thighs. Let the head go. On your next inhale, go ahead lifting up to a halfway lift, flat back position. Maybe fingertips come to shins. Fingertips back towards the floor. Right foot's gonna take a big step back, and we're finding our low lunge again. Go ahead and place your right knee towards the mat, and then lift up. Double check, firming through your left heel, left knee over ankle. Good. Right knee hugging in towards the left heel to create that scissoring of the inner thighs. Interlace your fingertips behind your head and just gently open up the elbows, sort of squeeze them back. Feel your shoulder blades sort of melt down towards one another. 2 more breaths here. Lift up through the midline, the abdominals, right? Nice strong core. 1 more breath. Soften the shoulders, soften your face. Coming up, release the hands, interlace them behind you at your low back, and draw your knuckles down towards the floor. This just gives you a little bit more of a heart opener, so take it nice and slow, really lifting from behind your heart. Breathe in, and breathe out. Carefully release, hands come back to the floor. We'll tuck our right toes under, lift the right knee. So again, really squeeze back through the right heel. Add an easy twist. So as you firm through your right fingertips, inhale, you'll sweep your left fingertips to the sky. Again, scissor the inner thighs to really zip up through the midline. Take 2 more breaths. Lift out of your right shoulder. A nice deep twist. As you exhale, see if you can bring the right ribs a little closer to your inner left thigh. Awesome. Carefully release left hand to the floor. And again, rather than coming straight back to your down dog, pick the left foot up, cross your left ankle over the right thigh. We'll call this our figure 4. And we'll come into this sort of asymmetrical down dog. Flex your left foot. And gently press your left knee back. Slide forward just a little bit so you can unhook your left ankle. Place the foot behind you, downward facing dog. Hips high, head heavy. Okay, let's just pause here for a couple breaths. So just double check that your hands are shoulder width distance. Right? Typically our index fingers are pointing straight forward. They're parallel to one another. Feet are about hips width distance, but you can always bring them closer or farther away. Soft bend in the knees. Really feel your hips lifting up and back. Imagine you'll place your tush on the wall where it meets the ceiling behind you. This is a nice pose to really open up all sides of your body. So really breathe into that length. So on your next inhale, go ahead and carefully come forward to your high push-up position. So slide your shoulders over your wrists, squeeze back through the heels. Now, as a reminder, you can always modify and come onto your knees. Otherwise, squeeze through your inner thighs. Sort of feel a hollowing of the armpits as you hug your triceps back by the ribs. Good, 2 more breaths. Really lift through the crown of your head, press back through the heels. 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Good. We'll all come down onto the knees just to modify for our first sort of chaturanga, our first vinyasa. As you inhale, bring the shoulders just an inch over your fingertips. And as you exhale, just nice, controlled, elbows hugging back by the ribs. We'll come all the way down towards the front side of the body. Walk your hands back another inch kind of towards the bottom ribs, our baby cobra pose. So as you press through the feet, peel your shoulder blades down the back and start to lift up through the heart. A couple breaths here. Scoop up through the abdomen. Feel your elbows squeeze behind you. Gaze is forward. Maybe a slight tuck of the chin to keep your neck nice and long. Then inhale, squeeze up a little higher, nice strong back. And then as you exhale, bring the right cheek towards the floor. Just take a cleansing breath. We'll do that again. So as you're ready, peel the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, rise up, baby cobra. Nice strong legs. Press through the tops of the feet. Using the upper back, so float the palms to just kind of give yourself that little sort of check-in, right? Heart is open, breathing deep. One more inhale, squeeze up a little higher. And as you exhale, this time bring your left cheek towards the mat. So this final one, you're more than welcome to, of course, stay with your baby cobra. But this time, tense your fingers right off the edges of your mat. Imagine that you're sort of cupping maybe oranges underneath your palms. From here, roll the shoulder blades down the back, press through the tops of the feet, start to sort of lift up into this king cobra pose. Again, nice strong legs, right, open through the chest. Inhale here. And as you exhale, just carefully fold your right shoulder in towards the midline. You take the gaze towards your left foot. Inhale, come back up towards center. Good. Exhale, left shoulder folds in. And inhale, come back up towards center. And as you exhale, we'll meet in our down dog. You can press into your tabletop position, tucking the toes, hips high, head heavy, downward facing dog. Next, we'll try our vinyasa. We'll just kind of add on, try it a little bit differently. So inhale, come forward to your plank pose. 3 breaths this time. Again, lift through the front side of body, slight doming of the upper back. Right? Squeeze and press back through the heels. Now you can always come back to that first variation with the knees on the mat. Otherwise, maybe keep your legs straight, reach back through the heels. Inhale, shift forward. Good. Exhale, again, elbows hug back, slow and controlled, all the way down towards the mat. Stay with your baby cobra if that felt nice. Inhale. Or perhaps this time you find your full up dog. So press into the hands. Your hips will lift off the mat. Again, press through the tops of the feet. Inhale here. And exhale to your down dog. Hips high, head heavy. Take a cleansing breath. One more round. Inhale, slide forward to plank. Right, maybe this time you don't come all the way down to the floor. That's a little bit more challenging. So again, squeeze into an inline inhale. Exhale, come down halfway, chaturanga. Find your heart opener, breathe in. And exhale to your down dog. So anytime throughout practice, when we come through our vinyasas, just as a reminder, they're optional, right? So you can always kind of mix and match, choose to do them in those different ways, or you can skip it entirely. All right, let's prepare to move to the top of the mat. So lift your heels, bend the knees deep, gaze to the thumbs, breathe in, and exhale. Now you can tiptoe, or this time you can step, maybe even hop off your feet. Halfway lift, flat back, exhale, fold, come to stand, root to rise, reach the arms up, and we'll find our mountain pose. Release your hands to your heart or by your side and just take a cleansing breath. All right, so we're gonna add on a little bit. Big toe mounts to touch. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bend your knees, sit back into your chair pose. Good, so we'll be here for a couple breaths. You wanna just make sure that your hips are neutral, right? So we don't wanna arch the low back, but we also don't want to over tuck it. So find what feels right for you as you hug into your midline. Ground down into your heels, and then imagine you're going to pull your mat apart right underneath your feet, and that's going to really feel that action into your outer hips. Good. 2 more breaths. Try to relax the shoulders, relax your face. From here, sit down a little bit deeper and then airplane your arms back behind you. So you're gonna reach your fingertips back behind you, palms are facing the floor. Roll the head of the arm bones back. Really open up through the chest. Breathe here. Lift through the abdominals, nice strong legs. On your next inhale, reach the arms up. Come to stand and exhale, fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Prepare so you can step back to your chaturanga and plank pose, right? You can hop back, move through your vinyasa. Inhale to your heart opener and exhale to down dog. Right leg is going to reach up and back behind you. It's our three-legged dog. Sometimes it's nice here to just explore. You can create a little bit of movement. It's kind of circling out into your right hip. Maybe you move into your ankle, wiggle your toes. You could stretch your right leg back behind you. Again, inner spiral your right thigh so the hips are square to the floor. And then as you exhale, carefully place the right foot just behind your right hand, just behind your right wrist. And then you're going to seal your back heel, and we're going to come up to our warrior one position. So it's another lunge as we lift up, right? So we want to just take a peek. Is our heel grounded behind us, right? Are our hips square as you hug your right hip back? So you want to avoid being on the tightrope this time. Good, 2 more breaths. Track your knee over your ankle, reach the arms up, inhale, you can even press the palms. Good, as you exhale, hands come to the floor. Inhale, step back, plank pose. Right, exhale, chaturanga. Elbows hug back. Inhale to your heart opener. And exhale to down dog. The left leg reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Again, just explore here. Keep firming into your hands. You really want to work to keep your chest square to the floor. So hug your left armpit down. And reach the left leg back behind you. Inner spiral your left thigh. Look to the back of your left hand. Carefully step your left foot behind your left hand. Step up and out an inch again with your right foot, and then rise up, warrior one. So your back toes, foot is not turned out so much. Maybe your right toes are like sort of pointing towards the top right corner of your mat. Good, 2 more breaths. Let yourself sort of sink into this left hip and knee as you firm through the heel. Good, inhale, relax the shoulders. Exhale. Good. Press the palms above, breathe in, right? Exhale, hands to the floor. Again, just following your breath, high to low, chaturanga, optional, right? We'll always just meet together in our down dog. Take a cleansing breath here. You can sort of shake out the head, right? Sort of make sure there's no tension sort of building up behind the neck or in the upper back. Prepare to move to the top of the mat. So lift your heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let your head go. Inhale, come to stand. Again, nice strong legs. We're going to exhale, come back to our chair pose. Bend the knees, sit low. Again, weight is in the heels. Take a peek. You should be able to see your toes. Good. Airplane the arms back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Lift through the abdominals. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Inhale, come back up to stand. Reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to prepare, flat back. Lean forward here. Right, move through your vinyasa or skip it. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Right foot lifts up behind you. Inhale. Exhale, right foot behind the right hand. Inhale to your warrior one. Seal your back heel, rise up. And exhale, hands come back to the floor. Step back, move through your vinyasa. You can keep your right leg lifted, squeeze your right tush as you lower down. Inhale, left side, right, sweep your left leg back. Exhale, step to the outside of your left hand. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, again, we meet in down dog. Pause for a breath. So check in with the body, notice the sensations. Again, lift your heels, bend the knees, gaze to the top of the mat, prepare. And again, step, or maybe for fun, hop. Feet to hands. Halfway lift and fold. This time we'll come to stand. Inhale and release again, mountain pose. Quiet the mind, maybe return to your intention, and just steady your breath here. All right, adding on. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bend the knees to your chair pose. And inhale, squeeze and airplane the arms back behind you. Lift through the abdomen, maybe even lift your heels. Right? Squeeze the shoulder blades. This is our drinking bird, I like to call it. Okay, lower the heels, come to stand, inhale. Good, exhale, bend the knees. Again, airplane the arms, and maybe the heels peel up. Good. 2 more, inhale, and exhale. Finding your own flow, or your own rhythm. Good. Lifting back up towards the standing pose, and bring your left knee in for marcher. Pause here. You can bring your hands towards the heart or even clip your hips. You're gonna start to open up your left thigh. We're creating that sort of figure 4 shape again. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And we'll call this our camper pose. Imagine you're sitting in a chair, right? So squeeze your hips back. It's like a one-legged chair pose. Flex through your left heel. Steady your eye gaze. We got this. 1 more breath. Carefully unwind, sort of unwrap. You can bring the left knee back in towards the chest and press it back into our warrior 3. So a little bit more balancing. Soften your right knee, right? Lift through the inner thighs, really spiral your left hip down. You can always bring your fingertips to the floor. Find something, right, to hold on to balance. 1 more breath, pressing out through your left heel. Lift through the heart. Good. Soften your right knee. You're going to take a big step back, high crescent lunge. Soften deep into the right knee. Again, tracking it over the ankle. Pause for a moment. Scissor the inner thighs. You can always modify onto your left knee. Right? Reach out of your side body. Lift through the fingertips. Inhale here. And then exhale, you're gonna twist towards your right. So left fingertips are gonna reach forward. Right arm is reaching back. Right? You're opening up your chest. Right? You're opening up across like a T-shaped position. Double check that this right knee is sort of steady, stable, so really firm through your right heel. Good, unwind. Go ahead and lengthen through the right leg. We'll call this our lifted pyramid pose. Right, again, lift, lift, lift through side body, maybe even the right heel lifts. Soften the shoulders and breathe. Good, lower the heel, bend the knee, and twist to the right. Let's find a little flow. Inhale, lengthen the leg, lift up. Exhale, bend and twist. 2 more. Nice. All right, pause. We're going to meet in this sort of twisted crescent lunge position. Right hand can come towards your left thigh. Left arm is going to lift up, lean back, open up across the front of your left hip. This left arm is sort of going to backstroke, opens you up to your warrior 2. So now we're turning open towards your left, the wide edge of your mat. Your right knee is still pointing forward, warrior 2 position. Pause here, steady eye gaze over your right fingertips. So generally we want to kind of work for this heel to arch alignment, right? Right heel would bisect with the left arch. Peaceful warrior, right arm reaches up and back, right? Keep bending into the right knee. Good. Exhale, right elbow comes to thigh for your side angle. You can use this right elbow to just gently sort of press the knee back and open up through the inner thigh. Relax the left shoulder. Roll the left shoulder back, so we're really working to stack our left lung on our right lung. Breathe here. Just take the gaze anywhere you feel comfortable for your neck. Good. Gaze down towards the inside of the right foot. Left fingertips are going to kind of sweep towards the inside of your right foot and then pull you back into what we call, or what I call, sort of this high skater pose, right? So you're bending now into the left knee, right leg is straight. You can kind of decide how much you want to turn out your toes or not, so just listen to your body. Just don't want to overstretch your ankles. Good, you can pause, stay here. Find that flat back position. It's like that baby cobra in the upper back. Then maybe you now start to shift, move to the opposite side, right? A little high skater pose here. You can find a little flow moving side to side if you want to release your fingertips from the mat, right? Open up the arms like wings, 2 or 3 more. Nice and smooth. Last inhale and exhale. This time you'll sort of scuttle and scoot and meet back in our low lunge position. So you're pivoting back towards the top of your mat, bend back into your right knee. Good, soften the hips, squeeze back through left leg. Good. Walk fingertips forward, press down into the right foot, making your way kind of towards either warrior 3, we were here before, or maybe a little bit further, your standing split. You can walk your fingertips closer to the right foot and really lift out of your left leg. Squeeze your left glute and move from that strength. Really reach out through your toes. Breathe in and breathe out. If you can, let your head go. All right. From here, soften both knees. Now we want to come back towards that marcher pose. So really work to hug your left knee in towards the chest. You can always touch down on your left foot. Otherwise, press into the right foot. You're going to come all the way up to stand. Again, maybe find that figure 4, right? Cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Bend your right knee. Good, couple more breaths. I know right leg is really working hard for us. That's okay, right? Maybe you add the twist. You can bring left hand to the sole of your left foot. Right hand can come to your hip, right? Maybe you just start to open up towards your right. Breathe in, breathe out. Awesome. Let's go ahead and release. So you can unwind, place your left foot onto the mat, pause and breathe, return to your intention. As we prepare for the next side. So as you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, and exhale, bend the knees into your chair pose, sit back. Good, again, we've got that little flow, so you can airplane the arms back behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades, and again, for fun, little drinking bird, lift your heels, scoop up through the abdomen, right? Open the chest, lower the heels, inhale, come back up to stand. Good, exhale, bend your knees, sit back, right, that little flow. 2 or 3 more, again, it just depends on your pace. We all have our sort of unique rhythm. This practice is meant to be personal, right, so you take your time, do what feels best. The next time we're all sort of standing up nice and tall, hug your right knee in, taking sort of your marcher pose, right? Squeeze up through the thigh. Carefully, you can bring your hands, sort of get them out of the way at the heart or hip, right? Figure 4, cross your right ankle over the thigh, bend your left knee like you're sitting back again into that imaginary chair. Steady eye gaze. Right knee can press away. Right? If you don't want to do this posture, just stay and hold your chair pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Carefully uncross your right ankle, heading towards our warrior 3, balancing still. So again, soften the left knee, really squeeze up through your left thigh as you stretch your right leg back behind you. Again, really work to create that nice horizontal plane on the back of your hips. 2 more breaths, keep the chest open, eye gaze a little bit forward, right, growing through the crown of your head. Soften into the left knee, big step back, high crescent lunge. Good, pause, again, just settle in, find your feet, right, sort of square the hips, strong legs as you squeeze back through your right heel, right, and firm down into your left heel. Inhale, reach your arms up. We've got our twist opening up towards the left. So sweep the right fingertips forward, left arm back. Again, keep lifting through the inner arch of your left foot, stabilize through your left knee. Unwind, straighten out your left leg. This should feel good. Maybe even lift your left heel. Breathe in, breathe out, soften your shoulders. Lower the heel, bend the knee, and again, twist towards your left. Find your flow here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend and twist. Breathe. Let's do one more. We'll meet in that sort of lunge twist posture. Left hand can come behind you. Right arm can lift up. Right arm sort of back strokes you open to your warrior two. Seal your back heel. I always have to walk my left foot in just a little bit. Again, that heel to arch alignment, warrior two position. Left knee open, arms stretching out nice and long. Nice, steady sort of focus as you gaze over your left fingertips. Peaceful warrior, left arm reaches up, bend deep into the left knee. And then exhale, left elbow can come towards the thigh for your side angle. Pause here for a breath. Really anchor through your right foot so you can lower and go a little bit deeper into your left hip. Again, roll the heart open, draw the right ribs back. Breathe here. Gaze towards the inside of your left foot, right? Right fingertips sort of sweep down. It's like the front stroke now, right? Who knew we were going swimming while we were doing yoga, right? So we've got our high skater. You can stay here, bend into the right knee. We're on the wide edge of the mat. Or maybe you drop down to your skandasana. So just move carefully, move with your breath, right? This can be a lot for your right knee, your right hip here. So just nice and slow. Maybe again, you find the movement back and forth, digging into the heels. As a reminder, you can always keep your hands on the floor. Side to side, it can be fast, it can be slow. Good, couple more. Next time you're sort of coming towards your left knee, your left hip, just scuttle, scuttle, scoot, scoot, scoot. We're back to our low lunge at the top of our mat, so bend back into the left knee. Good, pause for a second. So we're gonna shift into the left foot, sort of that balancing pose. Maybe you walk your fingertips out a little bit, gives you space somewhere to go. Then as you stretch out through the right leg, you can stay here, sort of supported warrior three, or you can start to fold over the left leg. Let your head go. Crown of the head is heavy. All right, carefully here. So again, hands come back towards the floor, maybe out in front of you. Bend both knees. Squeeze your right knee in. You're going to power up and press through your left heel to come back up towards your marcher pose. Good, and then cross your right ankle over the left thigh, bend your left knee. Again, sort of this figure four camper pose. Pause, couple breaths. Maybe you play adding a twist. Right hand can come towards the right foot as you open up towards your left. Just having some fun, so again, embrace those wiggles and shakes. It's totally cool if you fall out of the pose. Unwind. Reset. Tadasana. Take a couple breaths. Come back to your intention. Rootedness through the feet. The lift, the activation through the crown of your head. In that sense of feeling centered, expansive at your heart. All right, we're just gonna rinse it all out, taking a vinyasa. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, preparation. Step back, hop back, chaturanga, high to low push-up, right elbows hug back. Heart opener. And exhale to your down dog. Lower your knees for a breath. Just rest towards your child's pose. So one more cleansing breath together here in our child's pose. Inhale through your nose and open up the mouth, let it out. And coming back to your tabletop, inhale as you tuck your toes and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg nice and high. Exhale, right knee hugs in towards the nose, shoulders come over the wrists. Squeeze up strong through the core. Carefully lower your right knee to the mat and lift your left leg. Now squeeze your left glute and then bend your elbows. Just a tiny little bend, like you're gonna tap your heart between your hands. Press back up. Okay, those are our Thunderbird push-ups. So bring your right knee back in towards the nose and then inhale, your right leg reaches up and back. Good, exhale, right knee to nose. Good, inhale, lower the right knee, lift the left leg and squeeze. Exhale, bend your elbows, hug them towards the ribs. Knee to nose and reach it back. Just a couple more. Right, exhale, coils you forward. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, push up. 2 more. Seriously, don't worry at all if you get a little bit mixed up. Right? Just breathing here, moving our bodies. We'll meet in our 3-legged dog, so right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, step the right foot carefully between your hands and lower your left knee. Sweep your left foot towards the right edge of the mat. Coming up, we'll call this our modified warrior 2. So again, right toes, right knee stays forward. Interlace your hands behind the low back, right? Roll the shoulders back, crack your heart open, inhale here. And then as you exhale, begin to fold towards the inside of your right thigh. And keep your right knee over your ankle. See if you can allow the crown of your head to feel heavy. Just breathing into your body. To release the shape, first bring your hands to your low back, just so you can, right, carefully bring them to the floor inside of the right foot. And then we'll kind of pivot back towards squaring ourselves to the front of the mat, and then walk your right foot out to the outer edge of your mat, our lizard lunge. Stay here. You can always kind of scoot your left knee back. Maybe you come down towards the elbows. It's rather intense. So just try to stay with it, stay with the breath. Softening your fingers and face. Maybe a little movement, a little sway, a little rock. It might feel good for you. So stay 2 more inhales, 2 more exhales. And carefully walking your hands back underneath the shoulders, coming up onto the palms. Right? You're gonna kind of wiggle and sweep this right foot back behind you into sort of our 3-legged tabletop position. Right? And then you're gonna pivot open. You can come onto the left hand and the left knee, right? Balancing here. Now you can always bring your right foot to the floor. Right? Or you might play and you might actually bend the right knee and catch your right foot. 2 more breaths wherever you are, right? Zip up through the midline, right? Navel to spine. Lift out of your left shoulder. Release whatever pose, whatever bind you have. Right hand to the mat. Toes touch down, left leg extends. Inhale in plank and exhale to your down dog. Left side, inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, and slide forward. Draw the left knee towards the mat. Squeeze your right glute as you lift the leg. And again, bend your elbows. Push up. Knee to nose. Left leg long. Inhale. Right, exhale, come forward. Inhale to prepare. Squeeze the right glute. Exhale, bend the elbows. Just a few more. Nice and strong, really pulling into the midline. Right, we're using our whole body here. Let's do 1 more. We've got this. Meeting in our three-legged dog, left leg reaches up and back. And then place the left foot in between your hands and soften your right knee to the mat. Again, sort of sweep your right foot towards the left edge of your mat as you come up. Our modified warrior 2. Take it to your humble warrior. This should feel nice for the shoulders. So open the chest, breathe in, and then exhale. Just sort of fold towards the inside of the thigh, bowing down. Again, just peek, bring your left knee over your ankle. Knuckles really reaching up and back. It makes no difference how high you can get your hands. Bring them back towards your low back so you can release fingertips with control. And again, square yourself towards the top of the mat. Keep your hands to the inside of your left foot, right, for your lizard lunge. Right? Sometimes I find turning out my left toes, letting my left knee open, right, gives a little bit more space. So just again, take your time. We've got a couple breaths to really move into, right, your pose. Relax the shoulders. Just breathe into the sensations. Remind yourself of your intention, what brought you onto your mat today, so that this practice can serve you, not the other way around. Good. Walk the hands back underneath you carefully. Stretch the left leg back behind you. Keep it lifted. Right, opening up onto the right palm and right knee. Balancing here, right? Stacking our hips, our lungs, our shoulders, right? If you don't feel like practicing the balancing, right, you can just lower the foot. Or maybe you want to get a little stretch for the front of your left thigh. Bend your left knee, catch your foot behind you. Breathe in and out. We'll release. And again, meet in our child's pose. Take a cleansing breath. And then start to sit back up over your heels and swing the legs around, coming towards sort of our cool down. So you decide if you want to keep your legs straight out in front of you, right, for our seated forward bend, Paschimottanasana, or if you want to get into the hips a little bit more, right, soles of the feet to touch and knees can be wide. So you decide, right, lift up tall with your inhale, and as you exhale, right, move into your shape. So really use the breath to help you here. The inhales create length and space, and the exhales, right, allows you to move into that space and sort of soften into that space. Nice place to turn inward here, just sort of reflecting on, right, what came up for you this practice. And there's no need to judge. There's no need to create any story around it. You're just here to observe. Inhale through your nose and let it out the mouth. And walk the hands back up, right, gently, right, make your way onto your back. So we're setting up, right, for one or two last poses, and then my favorite part, the resting part. But take a moment, make that transition, shift onto your back. Just pause for a moment. So preparing for our bridge pose, walking the feet underneath your knees, arms are long by your side. Now, a nice little test here to check that your feet are underneath your knees is, can you tickle the back of your heels? Right, so that's a good place to start. If your knees feel a little bit sticky, just walk your feet an inch away from your fingertips. As you roll the shoulders back and lift through the heart, inhale to press into the feet and rise up, right, bridge pose. Can hang on to the outer edges of the mat or even just press through the palms. If you want to move into the shoulders, interlace your hands underneath you and sort of roll onto your outer upper arms. Continue to press through the back of your head, right? Chin lifts away from chest. Really firm into the heels. You might even flex your toes, right, towards your shins. Feel the strength right in the back of your legs. 2 more breaths here if you want to. You can give yourself a couple little pulses, squeezing your glutes. And we'll release, come down vertebra by vertebra, nice and slow and controlled, right? Bringing your hips back towards the mat. Right, take a cleansing breath. We'll set up for our second one. Now, if you want to practice wheel, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, just stay with your bridge pose. I'll talk us through wheel since it is a little bit different than our first variation. So if you're practicing your wheel pose, you'll want to go ahead and sort of flip your palms onto the floor above your shoulders. Right? Same thing as in bridge. So when you're ready, sort of firm through the feet and start to lift the hips up. Now, as you press through the hands, you might come just for a breath onto the top of your head, squeeze the elbows together, and then press into the hands, right, to lift up into your wheel pose. Come down anytime, but otherwise see if you can take 3 breaths here. Gently hugging towards your inner thighs, right, pressing your heart through your arms. And 1 more inhale and exhale. Good. To come out of the pose, carefully exit by tucking the chin, right, coming towards the back of your head. And again, just rolling down vertebra by vertebra, where we'll all meet again on our backs. It's nice here sometimes to just windshield wiper your knees a couple times. Again, press into the feet. You're just going to lift your hips up and just scoot them like an inch to your right. Use an inhale to bring your knees in towards the chest. And then as you exhale, guide them carefully towards your left. You can open your arms into a T-shaped position or cactus your arms. You might even shift your gaze towards your right. Take a couple deep breaths here, just releasing the spine. Just allowing your breath to move in and out of your body. Gazing back towards the ceiling. Inhale to bring your knees back up. And exhale, release the feet towards the floor, right, to the opposite side. So just a little lift, a scoot to your left. An inhale to bring your knees in. And an exhale, finding your simple twist. And just taking 5 breaths. Notice if you're gripping in the knees and can you kind of let them go. It's okay if your knees aren't touching the floor. It's also okay if your left shoulder peels away from the mat. It doesn't matter. Right? Just take some deep breaths. Again, gaze towards the ceiling. Inhale to bring your knees up. Right? Exhale, replace your feet towards the floor. Might need to sort of realign your hips with your spine. And taking your knees in towards the chest. Right, you can stay here. If you like happy baby pose, maybe you'll open up your knees. Just take a couple breaths. Maybe a little rock side to side. And just softening the tongue inside your mouth. Softening space between your eyes. You can let go of this shape. If you're ready to extend your legs, right, make your way towards your Shavasana, sort of our final rest. Right, we've made it. If there's anything else, any final squeeze or stretch or posture that will make you feel more complete in your practice, then you can go ahead and invite that in. Right, otherwise, when you're ready, you can just extend your legs. Right, take up a little extra space. Right, soften your hands. If it's comfortable, close your eyes. Let go of any effort. There's a soft space between your lips and your jaw, so the breath can move effortlessly in and out your mouth. You'll be here for just a few more minutes, just as a way to sort of rest and receive the benefits of your practice. And when it's time, right, I'll call you out. So just as you're ready, and only if you're ready, keeping your body still, just begin by deepening your breath. And as each breath becomes fuller and moves deeper into the body, notice how it feels. Maybe there's a tingle, the vibrations, the energy, reaching the edges of your fingers and the edges of your toes. Just noticing the body begin to reawaken, inviting small movements back into your wrists and ankles as you lick your lips and moisten your throat. And nice deep full breaths, allowing your head to just gently rock side to side. And you can sweep your arms up overhead like you're taking a nice big stretch, reawakening. And then carefully pressing yourself over to one side. You can even use your arm as a pillow. Just take another deep breath here. Without disrupting, right, this peaceful, calm space that you created for yourself, just slowly bring yourself up to an easy seat. Nice tall spine. Your hands can just gently rest in your lap. Notice how you feel. Bringing our palms together at heart center, bowing our mind's eye towards our heart as a way to say thank you. And then we can bring our thumbs to our lips to inspire and seal in kind words, and our thumbs to our mind's eye to inspire and seal in kind thoughts. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope the remainder of your day is peaceful. Thank you.